Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Saturday night's main event recap show. And what a recap show, we're going to talk about a lot of matches that were a part of Saturday night main event. We get the recap show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. All right, we have 4 matches to talk about. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get this thing started right here, right now. We kick off here with Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes was the first match of the night. I thought it was going to end up, like I said, on Predict the Outcome this morning. It was going to end in a draw, and it kind of did. Well, Jacob Fatu came out there. Him and Cody Rhodes battled. Jacob Fatu came out there cussing and doing, you know what I mean? You feel me? He came out there out the gate, ready to go. And him and Cody Rhodes were battling out for nearly 20 minutes. And they were battling throughout the crowd, throughout the ring, throughout the whole entire arena. And they just couldn't stop beating each other up. They was beating each other almost to pillar the post. You can tell Cody Rhodes was trying to get the aggression out of Jacob, as well as Jacob was trying to get the aggression out of Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes and Jacob both wanted to prove a point. And they did. They like I said, they went through the whole crowd, throughout the whole stage, hand and stuff like that. I'm telling you, this is far, and these both men will be part of the Royal Rumble match next week. So we'll see that coming up next week as well. But they was beating each other up. Next thing you know, Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, came out of nowhere, made a surprise appearance, and powerbomb and stacked away both his competition, which that's not real good. He kind of gave Cody Rhodes the low blow for his own troubles, and did so as he did. He did it well, but I guess he did. Drew McIntyre send a clear message that he don't care who running for his belt. He's gonna take them out one by one. Drew McIntyre really saying, really trying to send a message to everybody who's coming for him in his title. But Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes did do what they need to do. They wasn't no winner tonight, but both men, like I said, went to war, and they went to war. They went to war indeed, but it just both men really had their had their emotional pride at the stake, and we saw that, and we saw how that was gonna be. And being that way, we kind of know that both men will be a part of the Royal Rumble match next week. So we'll see how this is going to be playing out down the road eventually between Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, and what this is going to lead on to SmackDown, and why Drew McIntyre might have a vested interest to see who in the main event that he's going to be defending his belt against coming up. Well, we saw this right here. Stephanie McMahon. I thought she was going to bring out Joe Tessitore, but she did it on her own. She hosted the show. I guess Joe Tessitore was stuck in Detroit with that traffic and that flight because of the inclement weather. So Stephanie McMahon doing her due diligence that she did tonight, holding on the fort as the host of Saturday Night Main Event. Next on the menu was the WWE Women's Tag Team titles was on the line. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defending their titles in their first title defense against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez and them were looks like they was game to come on town, but it was a lot of shenanigans in that match. We saw Stephanie Victoria return and took down Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez was trying to make it a point, but it wasn't enough for Raquel. And Raquel did But Io Sky and Rhea Ripley managed to retain the women's tag team titles and did so. They did it. They did it that way and managed to regain the women's tag team titles. So kudos to Io and Rhea. They're going to be part of the women's Royal Rumble. We know Rhea won the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. Io Sky was close to winning it, but we'll see. Them two women will be a part of the Royal Rumble match, so we'll see. Speaking of the Royal Rumble match, the Royal Rumble coming your way. We know that Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago to earn the match against the championship. And we know how they were in WrestleMania Classic. Well, reunite at the AJ. They may not be his last match before next week. AJ goes Gunther. Styles took the fight to Shinsuke Nakamura in a instant battle, and what a match that was. We're going to show you pictures right quick before we leave out and stuff. An instant battle right here. AJ Styles getting the victory over Shinsuke Nakamura, which could be his final match. Hopefully it's not if he loses to Gunther, but AJ Styles bringing back his Japanese mask from his New Japan days and did so. AJ Styles and won over Shinsuke Nakamura, but gave Nakamura mad respect. Both men giving each other the dab sign as they did, and they did so tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura paying homage to AJ Styles, and AJ paying homage. That could be his very last, close to his very last match till next week. So we'll see what a match that was, paying out mad respect. Well, we get to the main event. The main event was the fatal four-way for the who's going to be next in line, be the number one contender for the WWE Championship. Was it going to be Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, or Sami Zayn? These four men had something to give, but who was going to win? We found out what a battle that was battle tested. But like we said, both men, we saw a couple yesterday after that chaotic brawl between Randy Orton coming in and trying to RKO everybody from the mama. Trick Williams to Sami Zayn. Trick Williams coming on SmackDown, making a statement, making an impression, the brash, arrogant comer that we know Trick Williams can be. And Trick Williams, we thought he was going to be coming up, as well as Damian Priest was going to do the same, but we know that Trick Willie maybe championship match down the road, but Damian Priest got something to say too. But Randy Orton had something to say. Randy Orton was the crafty veteran, as well as Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. Both were crafty veterans coming in the match. Randy Orton won the WWE Championship, was trying to gun for his 15th world title to keep up with Triple H, John Cena, and Ric Flair. Well, Randy didn't eat the pin. Damian at the pin from this man right here, Sami Zayn, as we had predicted. Sami Zayn will get the shot, and Sami Zayn will go on to the Royal Rumble next week and meet Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. So the match is official. Drew McIntyre versus Zayn for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. So we kind of know how the stakes are set at the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE title against Sami Zayn coming up, and we'll see that as well. The Saturday Night Main Event was okay, but I think what really stood out was this right here: the Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. That's like telling the story. Cody Rhodes said, "Let's hell with it. Let's go and fight outside." And that's what they did. They fought outside and they fought over the world. And then Drew low blow both men and got the upper edge and took out both men that caused that. But Drew's causing more problems than what he already knows. But that's here and there for another day. Well, that's going to end the Saturday Night Main Event recap. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we want to talk about this. Here's some big news to share. The show never stops. We thought that the WWE 2K game was going to be just the Attitude Era, but now it's a new caveat to it. Now it's the Monday Night War edition. What is going on? We're going to pre-order what said the show never stops. So I guess it's going to be pivotal moments from the WWE versus WCW Monday Night War edition, where we see Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, and China against WCW legends such as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Goldberg, Booker T, and Eric Bischoff. We'll see how all this is going to play out and how this all going to detail it going forward. More news right here. I want to show you more. A lot of people, Vince Russo, former WCW lead writer, WWE and TNA lead writer, and now the lead writer of his own JCW, the independent wrestling promotion. He did a little post saying that Triple H was being inappropriate with Io Sky and all about that. I saw it, but it's sort of like a touch situation. He was trying to encourage her, and I get Vince Russo's take on it, but at the same token, you know, you got to watch Unreal to understand it. But maybe Triple H and Io, I know if it ain't too close, then I get it. But it was just a playful banner. But Russo trying to make light of it and make it more than what it is. So I guess Vince Russo thinking over above the line. So we'll see what Russo's talking about as well, about what he thinks. And you know, I guess to me, when I watched the show, I was like, Triple H didn't really do too much. Really, he was just being a boss. To me, he really, I can see if he was going overboard. No, he didn't do all that. And I was thinking myself, probably Russo kind of bitter and angry because he ain't trying to, you know, have him as a consultant. And he said he don't want to be doing WWE forever, but I don't know. I guess it's the internet, the former wrestling personnel like Maven, Devon, all that. It's kind of like they thriving off WWE. They piggyback on WWE because, you know, anything that's outside the ring, then they're gonna have a comment and criticize and critique, which is understandable. That's fine. They're open to it because they lived it. But the same token, you know, if you're not in the business and they're showing you with that, you know, WWE got to be open to scrutiny to that. But that's come with the territory on how all that's going to play out. So I get it. At the same token, you know, watch the show like Triple H said as a fan. I watched the show and it was more insightful and more informative to me. And I just don't want to rip apart the whole damn WWE. So hey, I get it. You know how they go. All right, that is Wrestling Hot Topics. We're gonna leave you with Sami Zayn earning himself a championship match against Drew McIntyre for the Royal Rumble. We'll see that match coming up next week for the Royal Rumble. We'll have the Royal Rumble match previews and predictions as well as our ring reports that airs 5 days a week. So for me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, we'll see you Monday for the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.